Have you always lived as a traveller, Helen?
No, I've lived since I was 18 as a traveller.
Anybody in your family travellers?
Nope. No, I'm the only one that's been daft enough to think that you could live as a traveller.
Hello, Mum. Is that it then? Can I go wooding now?
Oh, it could be more. It would start with high unemployment, poor schooling, no apprenticeships, and nowhere to live really. That would be the beginning. Just a simple hard luck story where you'd look for something better to do than what you were at already.
This is a scene in a wood after a mega storm's passed through it. I suppose everybody remembers when the great storm was, when all the trees came down. This wood is what happens in the countryside. It's a bit devastated, basically. But it means that there's lots of brushwood, and the law says that we're allowed to take brushwood. So it's quite handy for us. And in fact, whilst we're here, we'll take away wood that would otherwise be strangling the new trees or the trees that survived. By taking the dead wood away, we'll give them the new trees a chance to come through nicely. So we're actually being helpful here, but you could also be arrested if the landowner got snotty. So now I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find a nice little log and carry it home, theoretically.
And I went to a festival and met a lot of people living in trucks and buses and vans, and realised that could be a better thing than what I was doing at that time.
6 years before this was filmed, in 1985, Helen found herself caught up in the so-called Battle of the Beanfield, where Margaret Thatcher used the army and the police to smash up the travelling lifestyle.
Negotiations started with the police, and they were not prepared to let us go on any further, and in fact we were to hand ourselves in, or they'd be bother. Well, we told them there and then that there's no way were people going to hand themselves in, and then the order was sent out by the high-ranking Bobby to arrest all the drivers. And of course, this line of riot bobbies had shot out along down the side of us and started smashing in the windows.
I was sort of alert and thinking, oh, what's going to happen now, you know, and I just watched them go down the side of the vehicle up ahead, and I could see this going as they were coming down the side, and I'm thinking, well, you know, for crying out loud, what's going on here? I went, no, and screamed, just tell me what you want me to do. And I reached all over the windscreen like this, because he was there first, and then he was hitting there, and then this one here was hitting at the window, and I put my hands up against the window here, and I said, just tell me what you want me to do. And there's a crash and a bang and a wallop from behind me, and there's shouting, and they're banging on the sides of the ambulance, and they're shouting.
One of the police reached in through that broken side window, the passenger window, and grabbed a handful of hair. I couldn't see clearly into the vehicle from where I was standing. I was some little distance off, but it was very clear to me that he had hold of the top of her hair and was pulling very vigorously. She, of course, was screaming blue murder, not wanting to be pulled, because what she was being pulled through was a window that had been broken 10 seconds earlier, which was framed as broken glass.
I was proved to have been assaulted by the policeman that arrested me, and I was awarded money for that assault, which was taken away in costs. And the policeman who assaulted me was promoted. That's British justice. That's exactly what happened. He got promotion and I'm still owing. I'm still in debt.
This one is
Yeah, I've got my foot on it. Look.
Do you want to hand in the other side?
That's all right. I don't ever hoolie through a place. I've got to look and see that it's not pulling anything else out. Cause
No, it's definitely
there's
cut
actually-
at the bottom here. If you cut it here,
this is
Yeah.
still quite live.
this bit isn't, because it's
Sure.
broken. The main stem's broken. Yeah. But do you do this every day, Helen?
No, this is. I try and go out once a week, or just whenever I feel like it. Like I say, I've revised my habits for going out and getting my own wood.
Yeah.
I go when I can. It's a pleasure. My dog likes it, wherever he's disappeared to, and it's enjoyable. It's all right, especially in an area where they don't mind you taking wood like this. I mean, we are helping out here by clearing wood, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
We're actually hooking and by crooking here, because this brushwood is down, and what we're doing is just trimming the branches off it so that we can take it home. But the by hook or by crook law is, if you came along and there was a branch halfway down in a tree, if you could sling something like a shepherd's crook and hook the branch out of the tree, then you could have it. That's brushwood. That's the law in Britain, is that you can take brushwood. The common people can take brushwood. So that's the hook or by crook. That's where you get the saying of by hook or by crook. It's training for the Alsatians as well. Bring them in wood like this. Being vegetarians, of course, we don't poach, but old age travellers would have. Well, they wouldn't have called it poaching. They just have called it training the dogs. If you're going walking in a wood and you want to be a rainbow warrior and help the trees to survive, then all you've got to do is rip the ivy from off the trees whenever you fancy it. Just, if you see a tree totally surrounded in ivy, just destruct the bottom of the ivy and that tree will grow. And the ivy will be all right. It's just like pruning. It's just like pruning the ivy. It doesn't hurt the ivy. Look, there you go, ivy.
Can you tell us about the storm in '86?
Yeah. All right then. The storm, the great storm of 19, whenever it was. Was it 89? 86, 87, 87? 87. Yeah, that did us lovely, that did. Should we try pulling this back now? Oh, wait a minute, there's this one.
Yeah.
I was away from my vehicle at the time when it happened, and I'd left my vehicle parked on a gypsy transit site, which are very horrible places to live, but when you need a stable place to fix up a vehicle, then a transit site is the most perfect place to be. So there I was in this most perfect environment to fix a vehicle. So I put my vehicle up on blocks, and I went off to earn money by picking fruit to fix the brakes. I went to put the wheels back on the bus, and I was just jacking it up, and I was right underneath it, and I'd taken 2 pumps on the jack like that, and it had just lifted it very slightly off the blocks, so that it was just very slightly off the blocks. And as it did so, the block that I didn't know about, which the hurricane had moved the bus so much, the wind from the bus, the wind on the side of the bus had knocked it so much, it actually moved it off the blocks. And I lifted it up, and it went crunch while I was underneath it. And it had wheels on it, so it just landed, it came off the blocks and onto its wheels. But I was laid underneath it, like with one arm over here like this, and jacking it like this with the other arm like this, and it came across me like that, and I'd sort of whipped my arm in, and it landed here, and it was sort of freaky. That's the closest shave I've ever had. I don't mind admitting that I lay under that bus and wept.
that was fun. So that's the trials and torments, you know, that people don't see. But that was a time when we were all into restoring. We still are into keeping old British technology on the road. That was the very nice part of it. We couldn't afford to buy expensive buses, so we bought old ones and we did them up. And right in the middle of it, the gypsy liaison officer threw us off site, told us that we weren't classified as gypsies anymore, and we had to leave. So that's what happened, and there starts another saga in the life of the travellers. Ha ha ha! That's a long story. And I'm getting distracted from my wooding, so. A nasty farmer telling him that he could saw down a tree with this chainsaw because it was a dead tree, and we'd asked if we could have it for burning wood, and the landowner had said, he wasn't actually a farmer, he was a landowner, had said yes, you can do that. So we'd gone along as a whole group and cut down this tree, and we'd sawed it up and stacked it outside our vehicles, and it was A-OK until the police came down and said, who sawed up this wood? And we did, because we all did. And he said, well, whose is the saw then? And Vince went, it's mine. And he said, right, you're nicked. And we said, what? And we said, no, he gave us permission to take the wood. And the landowner rescinded his permission, came and took the wood back after we'd taken it down for him and sawed it up. And my friend Vince got 1 week in prison. This is life.
Mm.
What do you do now then? So secretly entertain children? How did you
Yes, I supposedly entertain children. I do magic shows for them and clown around and organise bits of theatre. In the summer this is all, and I like telling stories and fooling around. That's it basically.